Hi guys, welcome back, or welcome if you are brand new. This is going to be my full kitchen tour, a video that's been requested a lot and one that I've been meaning to do for so long now, and I thought it would be really nice to go through everything in our kitchen in much more finer detail. So why we have things in certain places, why we chose certain design elements, the hows, whys, buts, ifs, everything, just to kind of go into a lot more detail. First of all, I want to talk through why we chose this kitchen and where we got it from. This kitchen is from Kitchens. I had this idea in my mind that I wanted inbuilt cabinets in an oak wood in like a shaker style finish, and I wanted it in blue. The whole time I said to Alex, I really want this really dark blue kitchen with brass elements. So that's what we went for, and we went to a brand new company called Kitchens. We spoke with their owner Sam. He just seemed like such a great guy, and we thought it would be a great team to work with. So I kind of set to work designing the whole thing, and Sam put it together in 3D CAD, and it was just perfect. So in terms of the layout, we've got quite a large big space here, and I wanted to make the most of as much worktop space as possible. Alex is the chef in this kitchen, so he as well was like, we want loads of worktops, we want to make sure that as much worktops are free and open as possible so that we can do loads and loads of different dishes and not be on top of each other if, say, I'm baking and Alex is cooking. So we had these amazing worktops put in. These are from Chandler Stoneworks. They're like a big stonemasons, and they're a Caesar stone, and I wanted them to be 60 mil thick, so like 6 centimeters thick. I was looking on Pinterest before we designed the kitchen and got loads of inspiration of the types of kitchens that I love and the elements that I really liked, and one thing that I kept coming back to was a really chunky kitchen worktop. So this is a quartz. We could have gone for marble. Every person that we spoke to about the idea of a marble worktop said do not do it. I mean, marble is beautiful, it's just very, very porous, and we have curries a lot, and Alex likes to make Mexican food, and Alex's main food source is chili hot sauce. So I was like, look, if we have marble, it's going to get ruined within a year probably, so let's stick to something far more durable, which is quartz. It looks just like a marble top, it's just less porous, and I am so happy with it. We both love it, don't we? And in this thickness, it's just chunky, and it's a massive part of this kitchen, and I think it's one of the coolest features in here. And that wraps all the way around to the edges of the sink and then to the island. And the island is probably the pride and joy of this whole kitchen. It's enormous, and again, I wanted this waterfall down the side of it, just because I feel like the beautiful veining that you get to see down the side of the quartz is just so stunning, and having such a huge slab like this is perfect for wining and dining friends and having family around. Me and Alex eat breakfast, lunch and dinner here every single day. We do have the dining room table, but we just tend to sit here when we're on our own, and we just love it. It's just beautiful. So we had this island put in. The previous owners didn't really make much use of this space, and we were like, let's just stick a huge island in here. It's going to be used all the time. So let's talk a bit more about the island actually whilst I'm here. So when I started designing the island, I knew we wanted, first of all, a breakfast bar, so we needed an area for stools, but I also wanted to make sure we made as much use of the breakfast bar and the island for storage and putting away as much as we possibly could. So in here I have 2 huge cupboard spaces, 2 huge drawers, one of which I keep all of our plates and bowls. I can't even imagine how heavy this must be. In here we have these wooden pegs because it's got a pin board backing, so that's kind of cool to break up all the different bowls and plates. And then beneath it is where I keep all of our pans. You know, it's kind of somewhat tidy. I haven't tidied all these drawers, just so you know before you start judging me. They're not all super tidy, but just giving you a bit of an idea of where we store things. Here we have our wine rack. The choice was wine rack or wine fridge. I figured me and Alex don't drink wine in abundance. I mean, we like wine at the moment, but we don't usually have wine every single night, so I thought a fridge might be a little bit redundant. Anything we want to drink in terms of wine, we can stick in the fridge beforehand. So instead we went for a wine rack, and I'm really pleased with it. You can get 12 different bottles in here. It's already pretty much full right now with a lot of champagne that's still left over from our wedding, I think, or our engagement. So that's packed in, but I really like the look of it. I like the way it just looks like loads of bottles lined up. And then the very final drawer over here, which we put in again just to make use of this space. Like honestly, every single drawer, every single cabinet was designed like fully with something in mind. So I went with this really lovely thin drawer that I wanted to put my spices. And if you watch my previous video, you'll have seen me organising my spice collection. So I'm super happy with it. This is where we keep all the extra condiments, spices, and then baking goods just down there as well. So it's nicely all tucked away. On the opposite side, we also have maybe 30-40 centimetres worth of cupboard space. It just goes right underneath the stools. Again, I just wanted to make as much usage of that space as possible, so I keep all my vases in there and all of our like water bottles and things like that. So it really is used, this island, big time. Okay, working back towards the window side of the kitchen, I wanted the sink here underneath the window just because I thought it'd be so nice to kind of look out when I'm doing my dishes. Not that I do that very often, we do make a lot of use of the dishwasher, which is nicely tucked away inside of here. And should I show you? It's got a few bits and bobs in here. It's just a Bosch, easy peasy, pretty happy with it. But it's just nice that it's tucked away behind the cupboard space. So everything is very seamless in here, which I love. Coffee machine on top, we use this about 15 times a day. Very much recommend it, the Siemens EQ9. It's pricey, but it makes a bloody good coffee. And then above it, we put in this cabinet right here, which holds our mugs and all of our cups. That means it's right next to the sink if you want a glass of water, and all the mugs are here if you want a coffee. It's just for super ease of use. And again, I'm so glad I put that in because it just makes life so much easier, and it has everything here. Plus the dishwasher right here, you know, it's straight in, straight out. Then the sink and my beautiful taps. As you can see, the whole kitchen has this brass theme. We went for gorgeous handles from Armac Martin, which have this knurled finish on them, and I wanted taps that kind of matched it. So these are from Perrin & Rowe. They're quite classic. I'm sure you've probably seen them in a lot of different kitchens. I see them everywhere, but they just look beautiful. And we also went for the matching Perrin & Rowe hot tap. I must admit that me and Alex drink coffees more than we drink tea, and I think that if we were tea drinkers, much heavier tea drinkers, this would be used a lot. Personally, I think that it may be more efficient for us to have just kept a kettle, I must admit, because we don't have that much hot water. But it does look beautiful, it serves its purpose if we're having pastas or we need hot water. But I do think if you're thinking of a hot tap, if you have a lot of cups of tea a day, then it's definitely worth it. But it looks fantastic here. And then the sink, we went for this double bay sink, butler sink. It's called a few different things, I never really know exactly what to call it, but it's just sunken in, beautifully finished with the gorgeous thick quartz, and I'm so happy with it. I think it's beautiful. Underneath we put in this cupboard space. It's a mess, it's such a mess. It's just full of all of our cleaning goods, and that's the hot water tank down there as well. So it does take up a little bit of space, but we've still got loads of room in there for all of our cleaning products. Let me put that away, that's embarrassing. And then just underneath here again is a really slim cupboard, just a really small, slim cupboard to make use of that space. Again, another of my favourite features in here are the quartz shelves. I wanted something in this corner that was more of a focal piece, and I started looking on Pinterest for different types of shelving inspiration, and I came across a picture where someone had the same quartz worktop as shelves, and I was like, that's it, that's exactly what I want. So when my kitchen designer spoke with the stonemasons, they said they could do it. So these are full quartz shelves, and they look so beautiful with this. And I just use those to keep our bowls and little vases. It's much more of a It's more of an ornamental set of shelves, that's for sure, but we do use the mugs and we do use the bowls. This plant, as you can see, is dead as a doornail right now. Me and Alex took all of the dead leaves off it yesterday. So it's looking a little bit sad and pathetic, unfortunately, but I do still love this plant. It will be back to normal soon, I hope. Just to give you a few more details actually, because I know I'll probably miss them otherwise. The mugs are H&M. The bowls are John Lewis, they're from the Rick Stein collection. This is a cute little teapot from TK Maxx, what's it called, Home Sense. This is Oliver Bonus, that was Home Sense, that's John Lewis. And the prints that you'll see around the kitchen are from Desenio. And this was John Lewis actually, as well. So it's a nice little mix of a few bits and bobs. Again, like I said, when I was designing up this kitchen with Sam, it was all about making the most of every little ounce of space. So in the corners, we put these really cool corner units. However, we are not using them right now at all, which is quite strange. There's just a lot of storage space in here. So I must admit, I use this to store my dish drainer. So if I'm ever washing up any dishes, I will get this out, but we don't often use it too much. But let me show you how this works, because it's kind of cool. Pulls out like this, and then pulls forward, and then this side pulls out here. That means we can use every little ounce of space right to the back of that cupboard. So that is such a cool feature, and one I'd highly recommend, but I've got that there ready for when maybe we have kids, or we just happen to get loads more pots. So the next set of drawers are all just full of utensils and little bits of cutlery, to be honest. Again, it's not very neat, guys, I'm sorry, but you know, this is just like knives, wooden spoons, straws, that kind of thing. This is crazy messy, but it's full of everything that we use, and then the same in the bottom, but really, really handy for Alex and his cooking skills. And then again, to a really focal point of the kitchen, we were really lucky with this oven that this was here when we moved in. It's the only thing in the kitchen that we actually kept, because it's a Le Canche oven. It's like a French brand, really quite famous, and it's quite funny because I was looking for a new oven and what to put in the kitchen, and then as I found this brand, and I was like, oh, Le Canche looks nice, I then realised actually a Le Canche was already in here, so we stuck with it, and it's actually fantastic. It works fine. It's a little bit old and a bit doddery at times, but it really works for what we need it for. It's beautiful. It looks a little bit vintagey because it's obviously a bit of wear and tear on it, but I kind of like that juxtaposition in such a completely clean and clean line space. This is a little bit vintage, a little bit done in, so I quite like that. And we adore this hot plate. Alex found this tucked away on top of an old fridge that was in here, and it's amazing for cooking fried eggs and pancakes, and Alex should do that more because that's delicious, but super handy to have that. And then above it we found this gorgeous Smeg cooker hood. We had to have this imported in from Italy because whilst they do this design, I think in the UK, they don't do it in black and brass, and obviously the whole vibe of the kitchen is the brass finishes, so that's why I really wanted this. So I managed to get this imported over from Italy, and I'm so glad because it just matches perfectly with the oven and the rest of the aesthetics. So like I was saying before, you can see here a little bit better the Armac Martin handles. These are called the Sparkbrook handles, and these are one of the first design features I chose before I'd even designed the whole kitchen, because I saw them and I was like, those are the handles that I need for this kitchen. And it kind of helped us to work out what colour we wanted on the cabinets as well. So this is kind of a little bit of everything in here. We originally had our knives and forks over in that drawer, and then Alex decided that he didn't like that and that he used this drawer much more, so we ended up moving the cutlery over. So now we have our cutlery tray in here. So that's cutlery, and then everything else is just bits and bobs like extra Le Creuset, and I've got my extra tea towels in here. I don't even know what's in here. Those are just all extra baking trays and things like that. Next cupboard is the bin, and again I wanted the bin away, not just sort of sat there. So we integrated that in here, and it's great. It's like a double bin. We've got our recycling here and then our normal bin here. Super easy. Alex loves it for when he's cooking here, straight into the bin with anything that he needs. And then we just keep our extra bin liners in that top shelf there, really nicely integrated away. This cupboard again is just nothing at the moment. We keep bits of Tupperware in it and that's about it. But again, it's another corner shelf unit, so it makes all of the room of behind and the back of in here, which is kind of nice. Then we built in the microwave here. Again, I didn't want the microwave sat on the worktop. It was very much about an integrated kitchen, so we pushed it in here. It works really, really well. It's got this really unnecessary feature where it's like touch to open. It's great to have it, and it looks kind of nice and slick with everything else. Again, I'm not even going to show you this cupboard because it's such a mess. I keep loads of like paperwork, and all of the info guides for the different electrics in here are in there. It's a mess, complete mess. And then we've got two really tall cupboards, which again are just full of, this is so embarrassing, it's such a mess. Again, it's loads of storage space, and the same above there. And I keep, up here I just keep a few of our, again, little electronic gadgets. And then we have the fridge. Another pride and joy of the kitchen, and it matches with the cooker hood, so like a little pair. Probably the favourite thing we love about this is the ice and freezing cold water unit. We only just had this plumbed in, but it's already used like 1,500 times a day. It is really, really great. Shall I show them inside? If you watched my last video, which was a kitchen organisation video, I'll leave it linked. Me and Alex cleaned this entire fridge, so it's looking so great. Ta-da! It is a load of space. It is ample for what me and Alex need. Alex's hot sauce collection. We've got a lot of fruit and veg right now because we have the odd box deliveries quite often. But it's really, really great. Huge size. And then in here we have our frozen goods. And that's just the ice in there. And a lot of frozen coffee ready for our coffee mornings. But it is absolutely beautiful, and I would highly recommend it, to be honest, if you're looking for a really slick fridge freezer. So moving around the back of the kitchen, again, this would have been a really empty open wall, so I thought why not stick a load more storage in it, and I really wanted a glass cabinet, mainly for my Starbucks mug collection. Look! I know so many of you guys collect the Starbucks mugs because every time I show them, loads of you comment about it. But I've got, how many have I got here? 14 here. I'm so sure I had more than that. And we've got a couple of the little espresso cups, but I collected these when I did my road trip around America. And these are all that I brought back. But I just really, really love them. Alex isn't the biggest fan, but I love my little collection. I wanted to show them off. Same with our wine glasses. I just thought it'd be nice to have a little area to show off our most prized crystal or whatever. So we put in this glass cabinet. So this area here, again, it was kind of between having a worktop or having even more drawers or cabinets. I really want an extra worktop just because I always remember in every kitchen I've ever had, there is usually a space that you put stuff that you don't really want to look at, but you want to put it somewhere. That is kind of this area. It's nice and tidy right now, and I try to make sure that not too much stuff gets put here. But it is kind of nice to keep our fruit bowl here. This is a beautiful bowl that we got in Morocco. We haggled in a market in Marrakesh, and we brought this home with us. So it's a really cool feature we love. Alex bought me this delicious sign years ago. Where did you get that from? A small independent shop called Oklahoma in Manchester. And then we have the Kenwood K-Mix, because I just think it's a really nice feature to have on show. And to be honest, I do actually use it loads. Anytime I'm making banana bread or any sort of cake, I'll use this just because I like to, it's just a nice one to be able to use. So this is a really cool space and area. Again, these are drawers filled with stuff, so much stuff. And then underneath here, there's loads of room, but again, it's just filled with crap, to be honest, to put it kindly. These are some of the more exciting areas where we keep our food. I'm keeping this as realistic as possible, guys. I haven't tidied this for you, but this is kind of the overall feel of this. I keep wet goods in this bit, dried goods in this bit. There's a few things that are in the wrong place right now, I know that. And then up here I've got the teas, coffees and milks, and we big fans of Oatly. Again, in my organisation video you'll have seen I've started to put loads of these in, and I've got even more on the way. So this is going to start looking a lot more organised soon, but just wanted to show you this is where we keep all of our food that doesn't need to go in the fridge. And then down here again, it's just more of the same cereals, and then we've got two drawers, one of which we keep all the pastas, all the rices, and then in this one it's more like supplements and protein shake powders and things like that, but it's just nicely all tucked away. So those are the kind of bits and bobs I suppose in here. Extra features I'd say are the lights that I'm a huge fan of. I think they really add to the feel and the styling. I have those two lamps as well that are above the shelves, both from Jim Lawrence. I bought those all at the same time. The artwork from Desenio. I feel it's always quite difficult to choose what kind of artwork to have in a kitchen. You don't want to be too cliche, but then something a bit more abstract may look a bit odd in a kitchen. Me and Alex love these. They've got that horticultural, is that the right word? Style to them. They almost look like more scientific style drawings of fruit and veg, and yeah, we love these. I think they work so well on this wall. Oh, and I didn't show you our radiator. We had this put in so it matched the aesthetics, and I went with this gold brass style finish. We got this from Bisque Radiators, and I literally don't know how, but it matches the gold of the stools almost as if they were sprayed at the exact same time in the same factory, which baffles me, but I'm so pleased. These stools I am thrilled with. The deep blue with the brass could not fit more perfectly in here, and I love the velvet finish as well, and they're so comfortable. Of course, I'll leave a link in the description for all these little bits and bobs in case you're interested. Oh, and we have the Dyson, just in case we get chilly, because it does get a little bit cold in here, I'll be honest. Especially with such an open space into the orangery. Should we do the laundry, or is that going to be too much? Alright, give me a sec. And the last thing to show you will be the laundry room, or the utility room in the UK. So again, the exact same style of cupboards and cabinetry, which is that very like shaker style vibe, and the Armec Martin handles. In here we went for a single sink. Again, it kind of matches with the other one, but we only needed something a little bit smaller in here. The same Perrin and Rowe taps though, so it all matches. And instead, in here, I went for pigeon, so it's Farrow Ball Pigeon, which is the colour of the utility room, which I think contrasts and complements beautifully with the blue. I didn't say that, the blue in there is Farrow Ball railings, if you hadn't already guessed. So railings in the kitchen and pigeon in here. A lady messaged me the other day and said she was thinking about pigeon, but she'd been told it's a bit dull. I completely disagree. I think it's such a subtle sage green tone, and it worked perfectly in here. There is quite light today, it's not always this bright, but I'm honestly so happy that I went with this tone. I think it's a gorgeous utility colour. The same worktops come all the way through here, it all integrates perfectly through into this room. This basket is from Zara Home, I believe. I use this for when I'm folding up any of our laundry. It means I can just carry it upstairs super easy. The boiler's stored away in here, so that's nice and tucked away. And then again, integrated in, we've got the white goods, and I went for these silver eco bubble ones from Samsung, just because, to be honest, I really like the aesthetics of them. The silver with the blue. I think they do the exact same one, but in a white. But they're just nicely fitted in and all just tucked away again. I think that's a common theme in here. Everything is just very packed in, and the space is made use of. And the artwork in here are some posters. It was a project we worked on with Bulgari, and they'd made these posters to go alongside that project, and we really love them. So the Bulgari team managed to source some for us. They've just fallen down a bit in their frames, we need to hoist them up a bit, but they work quite nicely in here. It's a bit of extra colour on the walls. Yeah, so I kind of think that's everything, to be honest, in this room. Oh, the floor, I've not really mentioned the floor. The floor is project flooring. This is distressed oak. They've got quite a few different colours that look very similar. This is distressed oak, and I chose it because it's very ashy. I thought something that would be a bit richer and more orange toned would be too contrasting with the blue. So the ashiness, we love it. I'll say the one regret of this kitchen is not putting underfloor heating in this kitchen, and I think the reason I didn't is because it's such a big space. At the time I was paying for the kitchen, I thought that is a huge expense extra. In hindsight, I wish I just paid it and got it done, because I think it would have really added to this room with how chilly it can be. So that would be one tip I would say, is if you've got something in your mind that you think you want to do, most likely just go for it before you can't change it. So that was our full kitchen and laundry room tour. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If I've missed anything, leave me a comment down below. I'll try and let you know where it's from. Most likely I will just list loads of the little bits and bobs that I might not have mentioned below for you, and I'll link them just in case I missed anything. But hopefully it was quite informative. If any of you guys are designing kitchens yourself right now, I hope that maybe it was quite helpful with some little things that I've shown you. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. If you are brand new here, please do click the subscribe button. It would be amazing to have you back. And to all the rest of you, thank you so much for being here. I love you loads, and I'll see you soon. Bye!